Hello everybody, don't mind my really wonky setup because normally I use this camera angle in order to be teeny tiny with in the corner with a green screen, and it means that I am cutting out an awkward amount of my webcam when I'm doing that, and currently I am recording without doing that, so I am just kind of weirdly off center. My whole screen is weirdly off center in reality, and everything is a bit wibbly wobbly, so just assume that this comes with the aesthetic. I am making this video because it really is frustrating to me how many times people come and make posts online after doing the cord cutting ritual entirely incorrectly. So, if you don't know what it is, the cord cutting ritual should be a thing that you do in order to allow you to get over a person or a situation that you want to, well, leave in the past. So most often it is done with toxic relationships, but this can be done with practically absolutely anything. So for a cord cutting ritual, what you do is you take a string. This is a white string. I don't know how well it shows up on the video. You would then place yourself mentally on one side of the string and place the other person that you're trying to get over, remove from your life, on the other side of the string. You would then visualize this as being your connection. You would take a pair of scissors and cut it. If that's not working, because it's kind of common for me to have very dull scissors, you can also bite the string if you want to. What you're doing is you're destroying that connection for yourself, and then you would be taking the normal regular steps of blocking this person and ceasing contact with them absolutely everywhere. It's kind of like making a willful declaration that you want to end this relationship, and it means actually following through with it. If you want to get fancy, you can get fancy. You could, for example, put a picture of you on one side and a picture of the other person on the other side, and then cut it with more materials. Or you could recite poetry, you could write 2 pages about what this connection meant to you and why you're discontinuing it, that you would read out before discontinuing it. There are so many ways to get fancy with this. If you wanted to get fancy, you don't need to get fancy. The common way that people get fancy with this is they select a candle, because burning things is cool apparently, to represent the other person, and select a candle to represent themselves. Then they tie the cord on the 2 candles, and they hope that when the candle flame gets to the cord, it ignites the cord and therefore cuts it. Now, not only is this a fire hazard, but people have somehow gotten into their heads that if this fails, it means that the universe is saying that you two were just meant to be, that you two are soulmates, that you two are meant to be together, because that string just wouldn't cut. It wouldn't cut during the ritual. Oh, how romantic. That's not the point of the ritual, and it's really a big pet peeve of mine, considering that there are so many people that approach spellwork like it is divination. Instead of setting spellwork as, this is where my mind is going, this is what I am prepared to do, and this is my commitment to do it effectively, they will perform spellwork and then they will stare at it and see at what it does. There are so many people trying to interpret wax off candles. They're like, oh, that's my candle ignited to the left. What does it mean? My candle ignited to the right. What does it mean? My herbs failed to catch fire. My herbs caught fire a lot. The bowl that I had the candle on has shattered. My cord wouldn't ignite during this ritual. I burnt my house down. Can anybody please explain the whole meaning of this? Why are you asking for meaning? Why are you treating it like you have set out to do a divination. You have set out to do a spell work, which means that you quite clearly have an intent in mind as to what you want to do with it. So you do it, and then you go through the mundane steps of affirming your own decision. This is very much as it is magical, it's also kind of for you and to set your mentality on the task that you're gonna be doing. It is not there to be, it's not a does he love me and does it not daisy pull. It is a work that you're bringing in your willpower into. What in the heck is this shit? So I've seen so many people, literally one woman has an unhealthy obsession with a man, which is why I wanted to make this video today, and I'm not gonna be naming any names, but it is a married man, and the man did not disclose to being married, so she wanted to do a cord cutting ritual and block him and forget him. So she does the ritual and the string doesn't ignite. A lot of strings will be somewhat fire resistant, by the way, because a lot of objects are not meant to be burned. So that doesn't necessarily mean anything as well. But that makes her decide that this married man that's already in a relationship is her soulmate, and therefore she's gonna be very obsessive and stalkery towards him, which is just, it's blowing my mind. Another person comes in and they failed to do a cord cutting by once again using fire and not cutting, and later on they got back together with this person, and now they're worried about whether their relationship is being threatened by that cord cutting that they failed to do years ago. No, then there's people that cut the cord between people that they're not involved with, that never wanted to stop their relationship. Like, oh, I don't like my sister's boyfriend, so I cut the cord between them, but my sister won't leave her boyfriend. Well, yes, she is not setting her intention into this. She has no reason to desire to leave her boyfriend. Her boyfriend has no reason to desire to leave her. You're just a vindictive third party. That's not gonna establish anything, because if you're visualizing this thing as a connection between another person, what happens when you continue interacting with another person? Well, the connection forms again, because, well, that's how connections be, by description. So if two people are living together and they're always having this connection with each other, you doing your stringy little bits is not gonna do anything. I don't know where this came from. I don't know what kind of illusions people have when it comes to the cord cutting ritual, but the amount of people that approach this in a very unhealthy and questioning way absolutely frustrates me. Hence this video. So to reiterate my point, if you want to disconnect your connection to another person, first of all, you'll have to put in the regular everyday work of stopping interacting with them, blocking their phone number, blocking their social media, not obsessing over them, not trying to catch up with them, not trying to get one more glimpse at what they wrote to you before, and things like that. You have to be prepared to do that, because that is half the journey. The second thing is, this is both magical and a psychological aid, where you will take a string, you will visualize this being your connection, you will spill all whatever emotions that you have towards this connection onto the connection. You will maybe use physical aids, like placing pictures, one of him and one of you, on like different parts of the string. Like, maybe you once again want to recite poetry because you feel like that will enhance the strength of what you're currently doing. Maybe you have other items that belong to them and you will be throwing it away with the string after you're done. You can make this ritual as elaborate as you want, but the point is, you take the string, You take something sharp and you cut it. It's not, my scissors are not very sharp and they just wouldn't cut, or the string just wouldn't burn. Because if I was trying to cut the string, my scissors are blunt as all hell, but I can still manage it. So yay, I cut the string. Look at me, mom. Look at me go. But it's not, it was meant to be because it didn't cut. It's that you cut it through whatever means necessary, and if you fail to do it with the scissors, get a knife and knife it. If that doesn't work, just get your teeth and bite it. Cutting a string shouldn't be that hard, provided that you're actually using a string and not, I don't know, sailor's rope in order to rope down your boat that you have rented or something like that. Like, if it is a string, you know, the kind of thing that you use for sewing, it shouldn't be that hard to cut. And that's how you set, like, your intention to also get through the mundane actions of throwing away their things, blocking their telephone number, blocking them on social media, making a promise to yourself to not interact with this person because you want them out of your life. Very specifically. This is not, does he love me or does he love me not? This is not a divinatory method where you're like, how will our future go? This is not, will our relationship work out? This is a very specific thing that you do for a very, very specific reason. So, like, if you're gonna set out to do it for a very specific reason, like, do it properly and actually, like, do it. So, thanks for coming to my TED Talk. I am sorry that it has been a bit angry, but that's just what happens whenever I spend too much time in spirituality spaces and I see very wishy-washy people that do things for all the mind-bogglingly wrong reasons. Like, if you're gonna be doing something like this, you have to have your mindset on it. That's like the first thing. You can't have doubts about it. You can't be like, oh, maybe if he really loves me, then the string won't cut. Like, that's not the purpose of it. But if I'm gonna continue ranting, I'm gonna continue going around in circles. So thank you for coming to the episode of Witch Mirta, where I explained to you what the cord cutting ritual is and how to properly use it. Hopefully this has been useful. I know that this has been angry, but those were my personal emotions, and this is my personal YouTube channel, so there is that. Thank you for watching. I hope that you're gonna see me on more happier videos, because normally I tend to talk about gaming and I tend to be a lot less perplexed in that stratosphere because it tends to sometimes be more logical. I say sometimes because sometimes it is not. So yeah, thank you for watching. I hope I'm gonna see you in my other videos. Toodaloo.